on, y'all? Live Dogs MMA. We're back at it again. We have UFC Fight Night, Magny versus Prates. I'm going to make it pretty quick on this one. We've had a lot of fights fall through, and it's not the best card, so let's try to do it quick. That being said, I am feeling lucky. Maybe it's because we got a new president, and that was nice. I actually took a bet on Kamala Harris at plus 600 for like 20 bucks. Just in case she won, I could buy some beer for a while and soften the blow or something like that. But yeah, we lost the bet. But I think we won in a much bigger way. So maybe I'm feeling riding high off of that. We'll see if we can continue that streak, okay? Without further ado, let's bust it wide open. The first fight is going to be Tresean Gore versus Antonio Tricoli. I saw this at first and I was thinking, okay, this is a spot where I can actually play Tricoli. I think he's better than we've seen, but overall he's just not good. And I kind of feel the same about Tresean Gore. I feel like this is a winnable fight for Tresean Gore. I'm not going to bet this one, though, until I see the weigh-ins. I really want to see them sized up and see how they look, see how drained Tricoli looks, and so forth. So it's a close fight because you can't trust either guy. If you're looking for a dog bad enough, you could probably sprinkle a little on Tricoli, but I feel like this is a winnable fight for Gore. I'm going to take Gore. Tresean Gore's the pick. And then we have Cortavius Romanus, which is a hell of a name, versus Gaston Bolanos. I think this is definitely a fight for Romanus. I'm pretty high on him. I like this Contender Series fight. He's a great wrestler, well, from what we've seen, and a pretty good striker, so he should be able to contend on the feet and get this fight down. I don't know if there's going to be a finish, and if there is, oddly enough, I think he could do it standing, and that's Romanus, of course. So high confidence pick on Romanus, but I'm not sure how he gets it done at this stage. We'll find out. And then we have Melissa Mullins versus Claudia Segula. Segula is a mid-level striker. She's from Poland. She's replacing Rendon. What's her name? Rendon. Let me see. Montserrat Rendon. Yeah. So that actually would have been an interesting fight because Rendon's pretty big. And she's got two big things that are fun to watch. But she's out. So Claudia's a newcomer. I don't know much about her. Did do a lot of research for this card, considering it's mid. I want to stick with what I know, and that says Mullins all day. But Mullins did get TKO'd by Nora Canole, and she's trash, which makes me a little tentative that if they're striking too much in the first round, Claudia might be able to pull away with the victory. But I'm going to go with the safer bet, and I'm going to stick with Mullins. Not heavy on her, but I'm leaning her. Then we have Cody Stamann versus Damon Blackshear. If Cody Stamann has not improved, and Damon Blackshear is not going to be super heavy focused on wrestling for this fight, because that is one of Stamann's strong suits, I feel like, you know, with him getting injured, you might see him fighting a little bit different. But if he fights in a way that's trustworthy, that we've seen him, I could see a submission here. So I'm going to go with Damon Blackshear. I think he's just got a little bit more than Cody Stamann does at this point. Then we have Charles Radke versus Matthew Semelsberger. Semi the Jedi, right? Semi the Jedi. This is one of the ones I've really been paying close attention to. I like Charles Radke. I put some bets on Charles Radke early. And then I kind of looked at it again, and I'm thinking, man, if you're really looking for a dog here, and you guys know I like to give you a live dog every card. So far, Matthew Semelsberger is my biggest dog on this card so far. We'll keep going. I've got another one or two for you, but I like him. And so I did hedge this bet. I put a couple on Semelsberger. For the sake of picks, I will go with Charles Radke. But I do like Semelsberger as a dog here as well. But we're going to stick with Radke for the sake of picks. But the reason is because Radke's weak to the body and doesn't have the cardio. Semelsberger brings it early and brings it all the time. I mean, this guy doesn't play around. He comes after you. He could overwhelm Charles, tire him out, and get a finish there. You know what? I'm going to pick Semelsberger. I just talked myself into it. Not confident in it. Another one of my tentative picks, but we're going to go with Semelsberger here. Either one is great, though. Whatever you have, I'm not mad at you. The next one, Mansur Abdul Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. Todorovic's not durable, and he's not improving. When he first got in the UFC, I was kind of like, all right, let's keep an eye on this guy. Yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. I like to fade these newcomers, you know, but I can't fade Malik. He looks like a promising prospect, and this is a guy that he should walk through. So, yeah, Malik's going to be the pick, and I'm confident in that. Then we have Zaleski Dos Santos, Eliseo Zaleski Dos Santos versus Zach Scroggin. Zach Scroggin is a newcomer. Haven't had enough time to pay much attention to the guy. I think he's kind of a striker. I think he's got a few KOs. Decent size. Won't get outsized here. Probably not going to have the cardio coming this short and being a bigger guy. I don't think the cardio is going to hold up. I do believe Eliseo, I'm just going to call him Dos Santos. I believe that Dos Santos is actually past it at this point. And I had Nicholas Dalby big. Nicholas Dalby was going to be my live dog of the card for you guys. Unfortunately, he pulled out. I was able to get him at plus 100, so I'm upset about that because he flipped to a favorite. But anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and pick Dos Santos to win. So don't take it to the bank. I don't know a lot about the other guy. But, I mean, give me a break. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? It's we got a couple days and they're fighting, right? So, yeah, just stay away from it. The odds are horrible anyways. Next up, we got Jillian Robertson versus Luana Pinheiro. I think this was pretty cut and dry, unless something crazy happens. Jillian Robertson, she's basically the female Jared Mearshart, so I think we're going to see another submission here. I think that submission prop's pretty good play. Haven't looked at the numbers yet. But yeah, I like Luana. I think that she's got a little growing to do, and we'll see some improvements out of her. And I'm not counting her out completely, but I just think a girl like Jillian Robertson will take her down, get that submission in. I'm pretty high on that. I'm going to play that prop for sure. And then we've got Ricky Torcios versus Bernardo Sapai. I was ready to fade Sapai, and I don't want to get any hate for this, but because he's from Sweden, the Swedish MMA scene is lacking. Alexander Gustafsson, one of my favorite fighters of all time. I actually remember watching the Jones fight and really thinking he won. Now I watch it sometimes just for fun to try to figure it out, and I'm always going back and forth. But in my mind, I'm going to say Gus won. But regardless, he was great, and there's been some good ones, but overall it's weak. So I wanted to fade him. But Ricky Turcios is just not a guy I can trust anymore. And I think that the power of Sapai, if his cardio holds up, that's the other thing, man. If his cardio holds up, this is his fight all day. So look to live bet this. If it goes late, you may see the odds flipping, and you may want to get on Turcios. But I think Sapai is going to be the pick here. And then we have Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Denise Gomes. Denise Gomes should win this. She's stronger. She hits harder. And Karolina, she's mounted a little bit of a comeback, but this is probably about as far as that comeback goes. So we're going to go with Gomes. Then we have Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates. Wow, we ran through this, didn't we? Good. That's great. Carlos Prates all day. This guy is, we get these prospects, they get to a certain point, and then we get a kind of a bust. I don't think we're going to see that with him. I do think that some avenues of his game, his grappling and takedown defense may get exposed. We have seen him in trouble when people really pressure him. You know, there's been a couple of spots where he hasn't looked great. But overall, like, that's what we're saying about the guy. I think Magny's been past it for a long time. And we see that Malott is not who we thought he was. So, not going to put a lot of stock into that win. Let's go ahead and go Prates all day. Unfortunately, the line for him is minus 700. So, I think the knockout's about minus 1 or 200. Look into that. That's good. I don't have any props or anything I can mention for you guys like I do on here sometimes during the video off the top of my head. I skipped Gerald Mearshart. Oh my God. Gerald Mearshart. He's another underdog that I like here. And I'm going to take... How did I forget this? This is the most important thing of the whole show, guys. I'm taking Gerald Mearshart. I'm taking him by sub. He's an underdog. He's probably going to be my live dog, but you guys know I'll put that out for you tomorrow. I thought Ritter was a kickboxer, and he came from a kickboxing background and then got some submissions and was learning that aspect. He's not really a striker. He's probably not much a better striker than Gerald Mearshart is. Doesn't have the cardio that Gerald has. And the submissions, man, they're going to go back and forth. If they're striking, I don't know. I think this one's too close to just jump on that favorite of Ritter. So you guys might hate on me for that, afterwards. But look at what I'm telling you now and tell me it doesn't make sense. I'm going to take Gerald Mearshart. So I'll get that stuff out for you guys tomorrow. Appreciate the love, appreciate the hate, appreciate the discourse. And until then, let's get paid. Toodles.